Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's always an honor and opportunity to be here with you, sharing and learning together. And I thank you for joining me as well. I want you to please share these videos, give likes, thumbs up. You know the procedure, because what this is all about, ladies and gentlemen, is information. We cannot, again, live the life we want to live without information, at least the proper way, without making mistakes, because we do, and we all understand mistakes, there's always going to be a price to pay for mistakes. There always is, and it will never be in any other way otherwise. So again, you have to know what you're doing in this world. Why are you here? And the way this world works. And one of the topic I want to say as well, thank God for the opportunity that I'm here to share his wisdom with you, and also for learning with me, because again, as I present or I prepare these videos, it also helped me learn and give me more deeper meaning to what I am teaching and what I'm learning at the same time. So again, thank you for joining me. So we thank God again for this opportunity for us to learn together. Today is one of the most, I think, critical topic that most people are having today. And I see these ads, these commercials about getting help, hiring a counselor for whatever reason, because, stress, anxiety. So what we're going to talk about today is anxiety, how to control it, how to remove it, and how not to even get into that situation to begin with. Because remember, wisdom means that not getting into the situation, because I foresee this is happening and I'm able to avoid it. That's what wisdom is. Wisdom is seeing what other people cannot see. Wisdom means that you're not gonna be in a situation like everybody else, okay? And also, of course, you learn from other people. You're learning a very expensive, but you're not paying when you watch other people fail or suffer from their own, of course, foolishness, stupidity, not wanting to learn from people who know, and also not learning from their mistakes and their past. So again, we're going to cover anxiety. What is all that about? Where is it coming from? What's generating it? How do I stop it? How do I not even get into it to begin with? How do I help someone who is in this situation as well? So again, we have these therapists out there who are helping people, but again, these are not biblical solution that will actually cure and help people. Because remember, why do I say that? What did I say that? Because remember, God created the world. He created everything. He created you. And when he created you, he gave us the solution. He gave us the cure to all the problems that we're going to face while we're here. He gave us the cure. We don't need doctors. In reality, if we truly follow God, think about what I'm going to say. If we truly follow God 100%, there would be no need for doctors, lawyers, teachers. There would be no need for anyone. All these professions that exist will not exist if we really follow the word of God. We won't have any need for it, because we will be content and without issues, without problems. But the reason why we have all these issues and we have all these problems is because people chase their desires, so-called dreams, what they think their purpose is, why they were created, what they want, and sometimes just simply lust for different things, okay? And then we go after, and of course, you have the Satan, which is Satan, is also on your heel, pushing you, telling you this is the way to go. Even though it's going to hurt you, but he's convincing you this is what you should do. And then you, of course, you are agreeing with it, because in your mind, it says there's no greater lawyer than your own mind. Your own mind will convince you of something to be true when it's not. There's no greater lawyer than your own mind. Remember that, because that's where the battle is fought all the time. Every day, every second, the battle, the decision making is in your mind. And you have the Satan that's influenced you, and you have the environment, and you have other people, you have Facebook, you have all these social media outlet is influencing your decision. And the problem is they all pretty much is wrong. The only one that is correct, that you're going to have the right answer to, is when you follow the word of God, the Torah, the Bible. There is no other solution, ladies and gentlemen. Again, people is chasing therapists, for 20 years, 30 years, 100 years, 1,000 years seeing your therapist, and you're still the same thing. You're still in the same situation. Nothing has changed. But you've been seeing it for 1,000 years. Why? Because he is not using the cure God designed for you that had already been put into the world. God says, I created the cure to all our problems 930 generations before he created the world. He created the cure to every single problem a human being is going to face. It's already been designed. It's there waiting for you. You just have to seek to find that information for you to fix whatever situation you are in today. And the reason why we have all these issues because it's called sin. When you sin, you are bringing punishment upon yourself. No matter, it doesn't matter what it is. If you're going against God, it's a sin. And when you sin, you are bringing punishment and you're inflicting pain on yourself. There's no one to blame but yourself. Why? Because you decide to be your own God. You decide to do things your way. And this is the way it's turning out, and you can't blame anyone but yourself. So now let's look at anxiety. And then, of course, most of the time, anxiety tends to lead to depression. Why do we have anxiety and then we become depressed afterward? If we have anxiety long enough, it does lead to depression. So what caused that? What caused that? Well, one of the reasons, most important reason, honestly, the first reason is because you are doing things because you believe you are in control of your own destiny. That's the first thing. You think you are your own man. You think there's nothing outside of you except you. There is no God, there is no creator, there is no higher power, there is no one who's controlling, who have created this. You are your God. And when you became your own God, all of it has fallen on you. That means you better know everything there is to know in this creation. You need to know what God knows in order for you not to be in this situation. Because if you don't know everything God knows, you're going to be in it. And if you are in it, it's because that's probably why you're thinking. Or you did not know, or someone did not tell you, or you did not learn about it. And what happened is this: when you come into this world, again, you're thinking you are your own God. We've been taught a success is in your hands. We've been told that. You go to school, 12 years in school, 100 years in college, and now you can be whatever you want to be because why? All the control is in your hand. The truth is, all lies. The only thing you have control of, ladies and gentlemen, is making a decision. Do I go left and do I go right? Whatever happens is now in God's hand. If God wants you to succeed, it's going to succeed. If he wants it to fail, it's going to fail. It doesn't matter how smart, how intelligent you are, how good looking you are, how handsome, how attractive, how beautiful, how fine. It doesn't matter nothing. He decides the outcome. The only thing you can actually do is make a decision. Of course, you make your effort, but again, it's still not your effort. He decides how it's going to turn out. So what happened is when people decide they don't want to know about God, they don't want to learn about God. So now everything, all the power and the control is now in their hand. At least it's an illusion. They're thinking that. And because of that, you work at something that you want, whether it is wealth, whether it is power, whether it is you have been abused, you have been traumatized, you want fame, or whatever that desire, that dream is. You believe that you can control the outcome of these things that you want. It's not in your hand. So what happened is when you are seeking these things and you cannot obtain them, there's obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, endless obstacle and failure, you start to get anxiety because you want this so badly. And the more you try, the higher your anxiety starts to increase. And as your anxiety increases and you start making more and more mistakes, more errors, and you start to get more angry because angry come along with that because you're not getting what you want. When you don't get what you want, you get angry. And of course, it's going to create anxiety. And there is going to be a time in your life where you're going to give up. You're going to give up. Why? Because you're going to say, you know what? No matter what I try, it does not work. I give up. And then you start feeling self-pity. You start to feel like you don't have a self-worth. You're a loser. You start to think all these negative things starts to enter in your mind. And then slowly you shift from anxiety into being a loser mode, and from a loser mode into depression. And that's what happened. But you're not aware of what's taking place. because you are so busy, determined you're going to succeed, determined you're going to get what you want. And the entire time, it was never in your hands. God determines if you're going to get what you want out of life. Now, what happened is this. Because you are trying to reach this goal, this desire that you have when you came into this world thinking, because when we're born, if you look at little kids, they want to grab everything. You notice that little children, they want to grab, oh no, that's my toy, that's mine. And we have that same mentality as adults. We're thinking, hey, this is my house, this is my yard, this is my property, this is my car, this is my. And at the same time, you're thinking you're the one who did all the work to obtain these things. You're thinking it was your effort, but it wasn't. But you thought that because this is what you learned or you came to believe through what the world told us that, hey, if you don't go to school, you don't do this and this and this, you are a failure. The world has defined what is success, and we bought into it. That is not success. That is simply, if you look at everybody pretty much in this world, most people are miserable, they're unhappy, they're sad, there's things going on in their life. Because why? We all went down that road thinking that we are in control of our lives. We are not completely controlling our lives. The only thing you have control over is what you can do now. And I will get into that as well. So now what happened, why this anxiety come about is because we have false understanding of what our purpose is here. What is my purpose? Because I don't know what my purpose, I'm chasing something that is false. So when I chase something that is false, that it cannot be obtained through my own effort, eventually anxiety going to be created. And once anxiety created, and I'm in that mode for 2, 3, 4, 10, 15 years, in anxiety mode trying to achieve, and I cannot achieve, then eventually I'm start to go into a depression mode. I start to go into a depression. Because why? Why am I a failure? Why can't I get this? I've done everything. I went to school. I went to college. I spent 100 years as an intern. I sold my soul just to have this position. I sold my children. I sold my wife. But yet I'm still a failure. Yet I still cannot get what my desire is. I still cannot obtain what I really want. I've done everything. I even sold my mother. I still can't get what I want. Why? Because it's not in your hands. And you thinking this is what you were created for. This is not why you came into this world. Because you did not understand what your purpose is. And people get confused between their purpose in this world and why they were created. The purpose, meaning a purpose, or why you were created. Let's look at purpose and then how people mix that up. Purpose, people think purpose is their job. Oh, I was created to be a doctor. That was my purpose, to be a doctor, to be a lawyer, to be a taxi driver, to be in Wall Street, to be famous, to be a basketball player, a football player, to be a computer technician, to be this and do that. They're thinking that's what they were made for. That's not your purpose. Those things, when you're coming down here, God says, you need an occupation. You need an occupation because you have to work. So I have to give you an occupation. I'm going to make you like sport. I'm going to make you like law. I'm going to make you like computers, engineering, drywall, houses. I'm going to give you a trade that you don't like. You don't even know what you like. But again, that's a trade, not your purpose. And because people confuse that. Now remember, why did God give us a trade? One, we have to earn a living. We have to think we're making the effort. And then what he does is that we're thinking that trade is our purpose while we came into this world. That trade is actually a curse. Your trade is a curse. You're a doctor, that's a curse. You're a lawyer, that's a curse. You're a teacher, that's a curse. Whatever you're doing, that's pretty much a curse, except one thing is not a curse. When you're teaching the word of God, that's not a curse because that's your purpose. Your purpose is to spread the word of God, to learn about God, and to spread it to other people who don't know God. That's your purpose, and to fix yourself. You have two things to do here. Fix what is wrong with you, because we all have things about us that's not right, that's wrong. Maybe I'm angry, I'm a jealous person, I'm a cheap person. These are things that's wrong with you. You have to fix those things. And on top of that, you have to let people know who God is. This is your purpose. Your job is met because you have to come here and you have to work, you have to eat, you have to take care of your family. But at the same time, God says this job has two sides. Not only it's a curse, and also it's a job, you have to do effort now. Also, it's to keep you occupied. Your job is to keep you occupied 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week. It depends. The purpose of a job is to keep you occupied. God says, if you sit all day idling and not doing anything, you're going to do a lot of sin, and therefore I'm going to have to kill you. I'm going to have to kill you for all the sins you're going to accumulate. So not for me not to kill you or for you to be guilty when you die, I'm going to give you an occupation when you come down here so you can toil in that occupation 40 hours, 60 hours a week so you do not sin because you're busy working. That's not your purpose. It's a curse. A job is a curse. A job is not your purpose. Okay? So again, you have to work. You have to stay occupied because since you are not spending 8 hours learning about God, so God says you go to work for 8 hours. If you were spending 8 hours learning about me, about God, you wouldn't have to work. But because you're not doing that, God says you have to keep yourself occupied. I'm giving you a occupation when you come down here for you to do. Now, again, the purpose here is for you to fix your character traits, your flaws in your character trait, and also to sanctify God's name, meaning that to teach and tell other people about God. So how does all of that connects to anxiety and depression is because when we come here, we're thinking it is our own effort. Not only we're misguided thinking about not knowing our purpose are and not knowing why we're here, we also misguided. Look how far away we are from why we're here. Of course you're going to have anxiety. Of course you're going to be depressed because why? That's not your creation. That's not purpose why you're created. So because you are going against the purpose of your creation is what creating this anxiety. And eventually, if you're in this long enough, fighting this long enough, you're going to give up. When anyone give up on their dream, they let their dream go, guess what? You're going to become depressed because that's your dream. At least that's what you think is your dream. At least that's what you think is your purpose in this world. At least that's what you think you were created to do in this world. And it's none of the above. So you see how easily you can fall into anxiety and depression because you're doing something you had no idea why you're here and what you are doing. And when that happens, you're in some serious trouble because this could be, most people will live their entire life thinking their purpose, their job is their purpose. Your job is not your purpose. Your job, remember, a job is a curse. And a job is to do two things. It's a curse and it's to keep you occupied so you do not sin. When God threw Adam and Eve out of the garden, he says, now you're going to work. You're going to work from the sweat of your eyebrow. You're going to sweat. You're going to be working, toiling, working the land. And of course, Eve going to labor, pain of labor. When they say pain of labor, they're not just saying pushing childbirth. That's all we're saying. You're going to have pain that too. But you also going to have pain raising this child as well. Okay? You're going to have pain. Again, if you notice, does that sound like a blessing to you? Does that sound like work is a blessing? Does it sound like we being kicked out of paradise a blessing to you? If you live in a multi-million-dollar home and you have servant, you have everything you want, you're sleeping, people brushing your own teeth, they bathing you, putting your clothes on, drying you off, brushing your teeth, brushing your hair, everything for you, don't do anything, and all of a sudden you get kicked out. Now you're living under a bridge. Is that a blessing? It's not a blessing. We are actually under a bridge. This is not a blessing. And people confuse that, okay? Now, these are the things that create the anxiety. Now, the other thing that attached to it is that the subconscious. We're going to talk about a little bit about subconscious. What happened is that when you want something, and to give you an example, is when you think about you left the house, you're not sure if you locked the door. You're not sure if you locked the door, or you're not sure if you turn off the oven, right? Imagine you at work for 8 hours. You're not sure if you turn the oven off or if you lock the door. How comfortable are you going to be and just completely forget that? Go through the entire day as if it never happened. It's not going to happen, right? It's going to be in the back of your mind, even though you're not aware of it, but you're going to always feel uneasy. You can't explain why you're uneasy. You're at work, you're uneasy. You shouldn't be, but it's because you forgot. You're not sure if you lock the door or you turn off the oven. And this is what happens when you are in the wrong direction, when you're pursuing your desire, your dream, whatever that may be, fame, honor, money, wealth, whatever that may be, when you're pursuing it and then you're not obtaining it, it sits in the back of your head. Even though you try to forget about it, you say, I'm going to give it a rest, or I'm going to just take some time off. It's not going away. It's still sitting there running behind. It's like, on the computer, you have a program running behind you. See, even though you see the screen, you have that program is running behind that, but you don't see the program. And that's what's happening to us as well. And people maybe look normal to you. They're coming to work, they're smiling, but that program is running in the subconscious. And that's going to always make you feel uncomfortable. And you will never be able to get rid of it because it's there. It's like a torment. It's torturing you. And you're wondering, why can't I relax? Why can't I relax? Why I can't feel at peace naturally? Why do I have to go to a bar and spend 12 hours in the bars drinking, hanging out just to feel good? Why? Because you're trying to kill that program that's running in your subconscious. That's what you're trying to do. But it's not going to go in anyway. Why? Because the information you have is wrong. And because it's based on wrong information, that program that's in your back of your mind is going to keep running until the day you die, until you understand how to avoid and fix this problem. It's never going to go away. Again, it's going to transition from the anxiety into depression, feeling like you're a failure. Okay? And people fall into that. Again, so we can talk about traumas, people who've been abused as well. And what happened is that when you fall into that category and you fall into this state that you feel like you're a failure and you fall into depression, because what happened is this: you get stuck in the past. You get stuck in the past. You're thinking about, because that's what happens, because you didn't accomplish it, right? You're not successful. You didn't accomplish your dream. So as long as your dream has not come to reality, you are in the past. You're thinking, I could have done this different. I could have done that. I could have said yes. I could have said no. I could have shown up earlier to the interview. I could have invite my friend to be part of this. I should have taken the loan out. I should have put my house for mortgage. I should not have bought that car. So you're thinking all of these things, that mistake that you didn't make because you think you made mistake, but there were never any mistakes. But you're thinking all those things that you should have or should not have done is why you are not succeeding, is why you are failing. So you're stuck thinking about, man, I made the wrong move. And people say that all the time. I should have done this. We all have done that at one point in our life, saying, you know what, I should have done this at this time. The truth is, it's not true. It's false. Because whatever you did was meant to be done because God was guiding you to make those decisions. He was guiding you because that's not your purpose. You're thinking you made errors while you're not succeeding. Is because God said that is not your creation. That's not what you were created for. That's why it did not work. So you are beating yourself into the ground about something that has nothing to do with you. You were not created to do. But because you did not know, you did not learn, it's been beating you into the ground for 10, 15, 20, probably 30 years. Some people probably more than that. Some people probably left this world in that condition. Again, anxiety comes through because we want something and we cannot obtain it. We want to stay in our house, we're being thrown out. We want to keep our car, we lost the car. We want our job, we lost our job because something we want. So again, it's about what we want and we cannot obtain it that's creating the anxiety. But if you know that God is the one that runs the world, he determines who succeeds, who does not succeed. Both of them are success. If you did not succeed in something, it's still a success. If you succeed in something, it's still a success. Both of them are God, because what God's saying is that this is not your path. Imagine a child wants something, okay? A child wants to drink poison. He wants to drink poison because you think it tastes good, but you take it away from him. Now, is that a failure or is that success? Is that a failure or success? It's a success because you didn't allow him to drink the poison. But to him, he thinks it's a failure. That child thinks it's a failure. He missed out a missed opportunity. Hey, I had this wonderful drink. It looked good. It was shiny. It was sparkling. It looked like it tastes really good. I'm thirsty and I want it, but my mother or my father took it away from me because why? It was poison. But that's what they're thinking. And in their mind, all they're thinking about how good this drink looked, but actually it was poison. And this is what we do. We're thinking what we missed out was an opportunity, but the whole time it was poison. And God took it away from us because it was poison. It was going to hurt us in the long run. And that's not what we were created for. So now, how do I view this past to get rid of the past? And I've spoken to this about is many people live in the past. Listen, the past is gone. It's gone. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay? There's nothing you can do about it. Don't dwell on the past. You must act as if the past never existed. That's the first thing you need to do to get rid of anxiety. Get rid of the past. There's nothing you can do about it.